What up, though? I want to welcome everybody to the 10 Man Podcast. I want to introduce my guest, Estrada,
Program
Coach
time,
Guerrero,
Let's run it.
Coach Bandit.
Let's
Today's
get it.
topic is going to be life, what's going on right now, how we can help the community. I'm going to ask some questions, but let everybody introduce themselves first. Go ahead.
man. Estrada_fit on Instagram. Came from prison. Was sitting in the cell, man. Leveled up with the homie G. Now we out here changing lives, man. Program time, run it.
Girl Fitness. For all you guys that don't know me, go to my IG. That's where I showcase my life. Girl Fitness, _. And check it out, man. This is about bettering ourselves. This is what we do. You know, we push that fitness, you know, because that's the pillar to being more confident and being able to break from those limitations that you have. Let's run it.
Check it out, man. It's Coach Bandit. Came through addictions, came through struggling with my own mental battles, and now we're here to show you guys, give you some tips on how you could break through them, financial freedom, you know, freedom within yourself. We're gonna show you guys a lot of game, man. Let's get it.
And the crazy part about saying your mental health, I feel like the world's just struggling with mental health. You know what I'm saying? I'm guilty of that too. I was just in my apartment for God knows how long. And today, look what we did. We came to the gym. It was not about lifting today. It was about more of a reminder of what's out here. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we get too stuck of what's going on in our heads that we forget that there's a community you build. Everybody here has a community. You have a community. And the whole point is to fucking express how you feel, man, so you can find answers, find solutions like that. You can heal and the next person can do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And I want to ask Coach Guerrero a couple questions, and I'll go to Estrada, then I'll go to Bandit. And the whole point is I'm asking these questions about financial freedom. How can we regroup when you feel lost, you know? Because it's past fitness. I feel like we all came to an agreement of that past fitness. Fitness is going to get you so much, you know what I'm saying? You still have to be disciplined. You still have to have so much more things to get where you want to get. So let me ask you this, Coach, because you are a coach. When people come at you with, like, let's say an addiction problem or a mental health problem, like, what's the first thing you think about? Like, do you relate to them? Do you put yourself in their shoes, or how do you relate to them to help them out so they can get well?
Oh, absolutely, man. We got to start digging deeper on whatever's holding them back from, you know, being that better person. And it's always going to be, you know, just, you know, forgiveness, forgiving yourself. Some people, they don't think that it's possible for them to change because they've done so much wrong. And that's the scary part, where they think that, hey, man, well, if I change, I want to change, but about everything that I did, it's going to come back to me. It's going to come hunt me. See, that's a belief. That's a belief that you put on yourself. So in other words, like, we got to break those limitations in the way you're thinking. When you change the way you think, the things you look at change. And a lot of us, we're stuck one way. So when somebody breaks the cycle of self-inflicted pain, which most of us have done, you know, I done drugs, you know, since I was 13 years old, you know, and I got caught up in you know, gang violence and getting into trouble. But that was all learned behavior. So what we learned through our journey and what we overcame is that, you know what, we're in our own way. See, we got to break that pattern. We got to break the old behavior, you know, whatever you got it from, whoever you fucking were raised, and whoever raised you and whoever, you know, laced you up, that's where you got it from. But the thing is that, you know, in order for you to change, you got to fucking change the way you're looking at that, that victim mentality that we all have of, like, oh, but I can't do it. Oh, but he's special, or this and that, like always pointing fingers and not owning, you know, what you've done, and not accepting that, you know what, if you want change, you're going to have to put the work. And that's what everybody's afraid of doing. So I tell them, like, hey, man, there's going to be work. You're going to have to face those demons. And every time that you're trying to better yourself, you're going to get more challenged. You know, you're going to be more challenged. You're going to hit adversity. It's going to come hit you. And because that's the test. How bad do you want it? So when you want better in this life, you're going to be tested. You're not just going to get it. It's not just going to land in your lap. And most people, that's what they're afraid of. They say they're tough, but then they're afraid to put in that work that makes them tough.
I got Bandit. What's the biggest issue you had, like, transforming your life? What's, like, one thing, like, man, I'm still stuck here, and what got you over that lump? You know, like, what's one thing you can say, man, whether it was addiction, being in your head, being on the streets, gangbang, whatever it may be, like, what was for you? What was the hardest one?
I think, well, we know when it comes to game banging, you got a combination of everything. So if you're game banging, you're probably doing drugs, you're probably drinking. So you're gonna have a mixture of a lot of struggles. So my struggle was, you know, I was addicted to alcohol. I was doing drugs, powders, you know, anything that you could think of once you get high. And that was my biggest, you know, thing to turn over, because when you've done something for 10 years, it's kind of hard to break that habit. It's like if you've been at a job for 10 years,
Yeah.
you're going to be scared to leave and start a new career and start a new job. So
Mhm.
it's, you got to be willing to step into something that's uncomfortable in order to change. So once I really put down the drugs, I put down the alcohol, I stopped kicking it with certain people in certain environments. Then from there, I seen the difference in my life, energy, the people that I was attracting, and it was just all for the better. So once I seen that, and I seen the difference from getting away from the wrong things, that's when my life changed.
Was it different? Like the circle? Of
Yeah.
course it changes, but was it different? Just the conversations, the environment.
Yeah, everything is completely different. You know, I mean, I feel like when you've been, you know, from a neighborhood and stuff like that, things, you're still who you are, but like G was just saying, you look at things differently.
Yeah.
So certain conversations, they just don't really fit you no more.
Yeah.
Someone be talking about some type of politic thing, and I'm just standing there like, you know, it just doesn't really relate, because I'm on this path worrying about myself.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about, you know, what the next person doing. I'm not worried about the next party, the next drink. You know? So like my mindset is on, like, if I'm not around people that are like me, it's just like I'm already ready to leave.
Yeah.
Regardless of how long. It could be family, friends, you know, I love them to death, but it's like at the end of the day, you got to be around who supports you and who helps you to get better. So if you're around a bunch of people to where, you know, they're not letting you grow, you already know what you got to do. You know, you got to
Gotta cut
make
'em off.
change, you know?
Yeah.
And James Estrada, man, you have a family. Was it hard for you? Like, were you addicted to something? Were you never home? Were you always at work? What was the biggest issue for you to get over?
Man,
Besides the drink, you know, besides doing whatever you did.
all of that, man. It was this new man that I had to create, that my wife had to re-fall in love with again. You know what I'm saying? I've been with her since we were 14 years old, bro. So it's I molded her into be somebody that we really weren't supposed to be. You know what I mean? So we went down that path, and if I could create her into that, then I could create her into a better.
How was that though? How was that little journey like just like an example? What was one like, damn, I'm doing this, like how she follow?
Oh man, it was like when I stopped drinking. You know what I mean? It's because I brought her up into that. So we were all drinking. That was like our go-to.
Yeah.
Something that lacked after that was those quote unquote like the in-depth conversations. We would go to lookout points and we'd be drinking, getting drunk, calling it fun, but in reality we were just kind of talking about really nothing. You know what I'm saying? But it's still the memory that was there. But what we had to do is come back and change the conversation. You know what I mean?
That's solid, man. That's gold. You know, that's deep.
And for any of you out there that's young like yourself, listen to marriage, and what's the best advice you can give a man, dog?
The best
Advice you give a man besides like there's gonna be arguments, there's gonna be fighting, there's gonna be bickering, all that stuff.
The best advice, man, for somebody in a marriage, you could be single, you could be in whatever, man. It's gonna become that best version of you, because the best version of you is gonna create the best opportunity in every outcome, in every scenario or situation you find yourself in. You know what I'm saying? So if you're trying to better your marriage, well, maybe you should step back and work on all the areas that you've been neglecting, because that could be contributing to the fucking problems.
What was one of your things? Like, what was like one thing? Were you a hothead? Were you
all that?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a hothead. I got a temper.
Yeah.
And then you pair that with alcohol.
How'd you know how to calm that down?
Well, doing the personal development work, I had to dig inside to see where I picked up all these habits from.
But like, what's one thing that you can be like, damn, like, what would trigger you to get so mad? Like, what did you do to help yourself? Besides the person that, like, what book did you read? Or did you take a class? What development did you use?
I used all my habits. So everything that I found when I was by myself sitting in a prison cell, that's what I carry out here. So whenever somebody cuts me off in fucking traffic, you instantly want to, man, what the fuck was this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, trying to mark me out or some shit. But you got to catch yourself.
Yeah.
You know? It's the breath work. It's that taking that deep breath and standing back. Like, is this worth it? Starting to ask yourself these questions that you wouldn't ask before. Is this worth it? Or what value does this bring me? Before, when I go around and people are drinking and they pass me that bottle, well, what value is in that, bro? You know what I mean? What value does that bring you?
Right.
Is that going to be beneficial for you, your family, your wife, your job? If the answer is no, then don't fucking do it. It's as simple as that. You just got to be honest with yourself and stick to the script of what you set out to begin with, why you started to change.
Yeah. That's cool, man. You know, we're here in Oceanside. It's sunny, it's beautiful, man. And we just want to hit like on life topics. Like everybody here they all come from different places, you know what I'm saying? And the whole point of all this is like, look at, lives in LA, lives in SGV, lives in the harbor area. I live right here in North County. And the thing is like, there's no excuse, man. If you have a community, stay in touch. Cause I have a bad habit of doing that. Like Coach would tell me, like, you can call me Bandit, so you can call me, but sometimes we're too prideful and selfish that you feel like you don't need a helping hand. But look at the world, man. You need good men to make better men. And I feel like that's falling off, man. We got to be an example to the community. You know what I'm saying? And what are your thoughts right now? Just about everything, about working out in the morning. How was it? Like, what does that bring to you? Like your mental state.
That's just the tone to start the day.
Yeah.
Mental peace. Even when I was just sitting there thinking about it earlier, like a few years ago, I wasn't doing this shit.
Yeah.
A few years ago in the morning, I was getting ready to go party, go drink, kick it with the next homie, where we're gonna be. And to be in a different environment now, to we're all betting ourselves, it's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like the circle that we had a few years ago to the circle that we have now, is it completely different? Yes. Even different people, different energy, different vibes, but all for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Because we all had a circle of negative habits, and to come into a positive one, and like you said, it's around a bunch of men that are better than themselves.
Yeah.
And that's where it needs to be. You can't do nothing by yourself. People that try to do things by themselves, they don't go very far. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, think about the big brands, Nike, Jordan. Yeah. It's not one person running it. You got a whole team, a whole squad. So you got to be around these people to bring you up to that next level.
What do you think, like, you're trying to build the coach, if you're trying to build a team, 5 players, you say you got 5 players, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would you choose on each one? Like each man has to have something different. What would you choose? How would you pick them, handpick them to build a team? Just in general, just the team.
I mean, just like I said earlier, I see, the best in them.
Yeah.
I don't see where they're at right now. I see where they could be at.
Mm-hmm.
So me, it's like I'm always focusing on like, okay, you know what? How could, he better himself on like whatever skill he has. So we all have a skill.
Yeah.
We all have a gift.
Yeah.
It's about bringing it out, and using it. But it's digging deeper and finding out what is it that you're good at. That's how they're like, how do I find my purpose? The purpose is going to be found through you putting in that work daily, and then the path will illuminate as you keep walking it day by day. But you need structure.
Yeah.
People don't have structure, so they fall off.
That's key.
That's the key.
That's
like
key.
If you don't have and what structure does and a community does, like when I tell my people, like the Zoom calls, the community keeps you grounded.
Yeah.
It keeps you accountable. That's why you need a driving force that's going to push you when you're not feeling good, because your mindset's still weak. Yeah. So we're working on that mind right now, So I know where they're at right now, at the level that they're at, because they tend to start falling off, or they negotiate with themselves, or they start doubting themselves within the program. So I get to, talk to them and dig deeper on what is it that's holding them back, So me, I like observe people, and I talk to people, and I listen to people, and then I'm able to help them, because whatever they're telling me, I turn it around and reframe the way they're thinking about that situation, because it's always blocking them from like moving forward, because they think that you cannot break through those barriers. But somebody that had already done it, like I said, you're gonna have to face your fears, face that adversity that's coming your way, because everybody that wants to level up, I keep telling you guys are gonna face, some hardships, you guys gotta weather the storm. Nobody wants to weather the storm. They wanna go hide when the storm comes hit. You gotta weather it in order for you to have that sunny day, those better days. But I get to like really like digest where their mind's at by talking to them, by hearing them out, by listening. Once they're in the program, it's pretty much easy for me to trump other excuses, because we're all the same. We're all not all so different.
Yeah.
I'm able to like, okay, this guy's seeing it from this angle, from this point of view. Mm-hmm. No, let's change that. Because in other words, like the only thing that's totally under your control, it's always you. Yeah. And everybody's always focused on what's out of their control. All that energy goes there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why they're feeling down. That's why they're feeling like, hey, life's fucking, happening, to me, instead of like, oh no, that's like for you, so you could move forward, so it could pressure you to fucking go heads up with it.
You think applying pressure is good?
Absolutely. Without pressure, you ain't gonna fucking move forward. There's no growth.
Yeah.
You know?
You have to push that line.
Yeah, because people that will tell me, I'll get people that will say like, oh, I'm so comfortable, you know, everything's good, you know, but eventually life's gonna come knocking. You cannot, there's no such thing as stagnation. You cannot just stay still,
Yeah.
not doing something for yourself, because sooner or later it's gonna come bite you in the ass. And that's when it's gonna be like, hey, what's going on with me? Like, fucking, you haven't done nothing.
You think everybody's fit to be a coach?
No, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. No, I'll tell them,
Yeah.
you know, I'm like, look it, you know, if I see it, I see it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, boom, this guy's gonna fucking hit it. This guy's gonna do it. A lot of people, I tell them like, don't think that, you know, just because this guy, you know, he's showcasing, you know,
Yeah.
a good life, and, you know, it takes a lot of work. If
Yeah.
you talk to these guys right here, you know, you got to share a lot. You got to be available. You have to, you know, feel it. It has to be in you. And I know that it's in them, you know, like since I talked to, you know, Bandit from the very beginning, I knew, oh man, the youngster's going to blow up because that's his passion.
Yeah.
You know, he loves this, you know,
Yeah.
so now tying everything in with what he went through, oh, it's fucking, it's a no brainer. But a lot of people get infatuated with like, oh
The
man,
things,
like,
the things. the
yeah,
material.
well, yeah, like the lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know? And I always tell them, like, wait a minute, like, you could be, you know, you could be a good fucking, you know, the best construction worker there,
Yeah.
where you could be so good that you could start your own company, which
Yeah.
I had that happen. I have the testimonials already of like people waking up and realizing, like, you know what? I've been on this fucking job for 20 years, you know, building paths, like, I could do it on my own and I could start my own company.
Yeah.
Boom, there it is. That right there, that's your skill set, you know, beautifying homes. You know, that's a lifestyle that you're creating, you know? And then from there, it's like, it's endless, you know, a guy that's, you know, same thing with like any skill set that they're good at, you know, if they really like focus and put their all into it, sometimes that becomes their passion, their purpose.
You as a
Because
coach.
we need builders.
Well,
You know, we need people
exactly.
from every walks of life, you know, with their skills to like playing music, playing, you know, an instrument, artists. We need artists, you know. If you know, I have one on the team. I'm pretty sure you know. She draws beautiful murals, you know, all over fucking the SGV area.
No.
And now we're tying in fitness, because fitness
It's a whole nother level now.
and personal
Yeah.
development, which is personally making yourself better in all areas. You know, not just fitness. It's always the spiritual side that
That's
people
big.
forget,
Yeah, that's big.
because they cannot bridge the gap from like obviously the gym is our escape.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like we were using escape like when we used to go drink or
Yeah.
go and fucking smoke a J because
Yeah.
we're stressed out. Okay, now we use the gym as a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you're attacking the spiritual side, which
You're not touching it.
No, that's the mental.
Yeah.
That right there is like everything that's gonna come back and try to fucking like tell you like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you ain't about this.
Yeah.
Like all these thoughts, all these fucking like these imaginary evils that we put in our head, because hey, shit's always gonna come our way, and that's when you start thinking that, hey, is this a sign that I shouldn't be doing this? That hey, this is not me. No, it's not. You know, the devil, whoever you guys believe in, the devil's always gonna remind you of who you were and what you used to be, and he's always gonna fucking throw those daggers at you because this motherfucker thinks he's gonna fucking change. No, yeah, I'm gonna get at his ass, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. So the healing, you know, that starts like when you're done with the gym. You gotta revisit those problems. You gotta, because your mindset's changed now. You know, you're thinking better. You have more clarity. And people, they'll just get that pump. They feel good, and they'll go about their day, but they never address the issue of why they went.
They're still empty.
Yeah,
still empty.
they're never
just a frame.
addressing it. Yeah, and that's when people are like, well, how the fuck do I bridge that from this side? Because there's a lot of people that are fucking well put together physically, but they're fucked up in the head. They're still broken.
Shit.
Bro, these motherfuckers,
world.
they're talking
Yeah.
about fucking throwing in the towel. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
everybody else will be looking at them like, this motherfucker looks good,
Yeah.
stud, young, and you're thinking like that?
Yeah.
But they're fucked up in the head.
Like for
Hmm?
you as a coach watching these two men right here, like what does it bring you, man? Like just watching the success they have and where they're going and what they're doing with themselves. It's a blueprint they follow and what they're
shit,
doing.
man, I'm proud. It's
know?
it's you know, of inner peace and contentment, because you know I'm sharing what helped me.
Yeah.
You know, with others, where I'm like, where I get pumped up when they
Yeah.
like, their video crack or something,
Yeah.
that they get, whether it's material thing or just even like recognition.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck yeah, like I'm happy to be like yeah, man, he's fucking doing that shit. It's almost like your kids,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're proud of your
Yeah.
kids, like my boys, like they're my boys, they're my family. Like
Yeah.
I'll be telling my lady, oh, check it out, like look at
Yeah.
how they're doing, or this and that. It's like,
I've heard you
damn.
too. Like when him talk personal sometimes. His pride and joy, like from what I see as a friend, is like, damn man, the team is king. He's always worried. He answers his calls, or I gotta let you go. I'm going on a Zoom call, and I'm like, damn, this man is he ain't full of shit. He's the real deal. He's fucking there. You call this man, he's gonna answer the call, and it's like that's what I mean by good men making better men. One good man is making a whole bunch of men and females better with their lives, with the spiritual, and like Bandit and Estrada, like for a spiritual side, what would you guys recommend? Like somebody that's trying to search deep, like what would you guys do?
Man,
As coaches, what would you say?
what I like to have my clients do, bro, is like, man, you got to put your thoughts on paper. Like you'll have a million different fucking thoughts running all around in your fucking head, and you're not gonna know what to do. It just causes anxiety. You start getting depressed. You start feeling lost. It starts pulling you off of that journey. You know what I'm saying? So what I always say is, man, write at the top of a paper the man that I wish to become, and write out exactly what the fuck it is that you want to be.
Yeah.
And what do you want to look like? What do you want to do for a living? I mean, what's bothering you the most right now? You know what I'm saying? And slowly start to check all of that shit off, bro. It's really as simple as that. Good and bad. I mean, how can you get to the positive goals, and how can we get rid of these negative habits that we've been holding on to? It's really as simple as just putting everything that's going on in your mind on a piece of paper. Before you know it, bro, you're not gonna know what the hell to write, but before you know it, you're like 10 pages later, like, holy shit, and you feel like this stress coming off.
That's key.
You know what I mean?
That's gold.
Do you recommend people to start with something small just to create a habit? Like to create a habit, what would you do, Bandit, to create a habit? How would you start?
Stop thinking and start doing. The more that you think, the more that you're gonna talk yourself out of it. I've been there myself. I've been working out since I was 15.
Yeah.
I could have been a trainer. I could have done coaching years ago.
Yeah.
I'm only 27 now, but I could have started when I was 20. And that was just all from, like G was saying, you could look good, be in shape, but still be thinking negative in your mind, and you're already ready to quit. You're already ready to throw in the towel when you haven't even fully dived in the water yet.
Yeah.
So you just got to really stop thinking and just start doing, because like I said, your own mind will lie to you. And that's if you let it though.
Yeah.
You got to, like, same thing you're saying, the devil's always going to try to talk to you and give you those negative thoughts. But if you can't push through and be positive, then just go for what you want anyways, you're going to set yourself off your go. You're never going to get it.
Do you believe in God?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why we're all here, without that, without being able to have faith and pray and, believe in a better day for someone that's higher up, it's kind of hard to be positive. You know what I'm saying? Because in a world full of nothing, if you don't think that there's a higher up, it's a lot of negativity down here.
And a world full of nothing. Did you hear that? A world full of nothing.
No, that's gem. That's what I'm saying.
That's a
These
gem
guys
right there.
have it.
A
That's
world
why
full
I
of
know.
nothing.
It takes exercising, the mind.
Yeah.
Same thing as, you do with like lifting weights to get that body. You got to fucking use the mind, exercise the mind. That's a good way to heal yourself. Writing shit down, your mind's coming in with all kinds of fucking thoughts through the whole fucking day. You got to address your problems. You got to address, what's happening up here. You got to write it, because you will forget. And that's when you're looking at that page the next day, you're looking at all that shit that you were whining and complaining about. You're like, okay, I got to address this. I got to drop. You start fucking filtering your subconscious mind with all that fucking like just garbage that you've been, obviously picking up from since your upbringing.
Yeah.
That's how you fucking rewire your subconscious mind from all that trash that you have here. You have to write it down and revisit. Okay, this is a pattern. See, life, it's patterns. We gotta break that pattern. That's a pattern of like how you think.
Yeah.
You're always gonna come back to like, okay, this is what always bothers me. Why is it that it's bothering me for? Does it service me? Do I have control over it or not? Okay, I gotta start eliminating. So that's when you start checking everything that you have to fucking filter out. Just like Estrada said. Yeah, exactly. Checklist, straight up. And that's what most people ain't fucking teaching out there. If you fucking know how to fucking use that, which that right there is like a high level of like coaching, personal development, not a fitness coach. I don't even consider them fitness coach, and I don't even want them to be fitness coach, because that is like, okay, good. But that's like the that's like the entry level.
Yeah.
When you go into like the personal development coach, we're attacking all areas, and
Yeah.
you need to know how to address like certain problems that people have, which is it's all fucking just internal work.
Like for somebody that say, I've been an addict my whole life, you know what I'm saying? And I would run to the bottle, to the drugs, you know what I mean? Like, and somebody that can hide it gets fucked up all day long, drunk, high, and still try to do the same thing. Like, for somebody that has to wake up and drink a beer, he's an addict. You can't function, your hands start shaking. Like, how would you help somebody like that that came in, you know, a coach or Bandit, or how would you help them? How can you relate to them and be like, man, I actually get the shakes if I don't drink a beer? Like how, or I fucking get my Leos and I'm fucking in bed like this and I can't shake the dope. Like somebody that wants to really change and they have the potential, how would you start them off? Like, cause you know, it's some people want it, but just that they don't know how to ask.
Yeah.
Cause that's a big issue, and
Yeah.
addiction is a big thing,
Yeah,
especially in this world.
it's like a bowling chain. It has a hold on you.
Yeah.
And you got to break that, but it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of mentoring. It's going to take a lot of like coaching one-on-one, where we're like I'm saying, like it's all about just internal work, like just talking to somebody that's going to change your way of seeing everything. And obviously you got to buckle down. You got to write this shit down, because all that withdrawals and everything, that the shakes and the malias, everything that you're going to get when
Coming.
it's coming,
It has to come.
so
have to go
hey,
through it.
let's see how tough you are,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
We're gonna have to buckle down, even if we have to like fucking like, hey, we're gonna have to just lock you until you fucking just fight it. You're gonna have to fight it, because believe it or not, like they even like you use that. People use that like to heal themselves, where like they're fighting, screaming and crying and all that is something that you have to go through.
Yeah.
Like if you're ready to change, you gotta get ready, because it's gonna be a fucking bumpy ride. You gotta fucking be telling them of what they're gonna face and just be prepared. But it all starts with like prayer, you know, being grateful and thankful that you're fucking still here and that you're able to change that. And it's not gonna be easy.
You know, like I feel like society nowadays, like I feel like they say, you three, people grasp to you guys so much that they wait for that message, you know. But when anybody that does something positive, that guy can be laying down right there and he's fucking thinking about doing a shooting, or you know what I'm saying? It happens all the time. But a simple common courtesy, how you doing today, man? How can I help you? Like, you think that's a big thing that a lot of people neglect in the world nowadays? That even, how you doing today? Like,
Yeah, because it doesn't cost nothing.
yeah.
No, 100%. You never know what somebody's going through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You never know what's going on in that person's mind. You never
Yeah.
know when you walk into a 7-Eleven to get a water that this dude next to you just had the shittiest fucking day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just being a fucking genuine ass human being.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Like, hey, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Yeah.
Man, good morning, man. I hope you have a good day.
Yeah.
Bro, just something as simple as that could change that person's entire fucking life, because you didn't know that dude was gonna go jump off a fucking building
Yeah.
with that 40.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's just something as simple as that. It could have just showed them like, there still is good in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they would have just changed everything right
And
there.
I feel like coming, like where we come from, how we look. I know before it used to be like oh man, they're pointing like, oh shit, let's go search these guys. But now with the influence and what's getting built, I think it's a big change, man. And like you guys don't, I feel like sometimes you probably don't see it, but so I'm seeing right here looking at you, and I'm like, damn. It's not like, man, these guys, just put them over and fucking, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter no more, because your voice is so powerful.
It's the energy also.
Exactly.
You know?
The energy's
People feel
big,
that-
man.
that
but the
positive
voice
energy.
too, like if you can actually like, look at him, he sounds like a professional type when he's on, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
look what he's doing.
They're
Look
natural.
what he's doing.
They're
Look what you're
naturals.
doing. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like these little talks we have, the workout, it just kind of reminds ourselves that, like, man, we came from an upbringing that people use as an excuse, because I used it. Shit, that's the way I grew up, that's the way I'm gonna be. But that shit don't even matter no more. You know what I mean? It's what we're doing now, how we're gonna help people. You know what I mean? That's the whole point.
Well, you got to expose them to it. You
Yeah.
got to show them that it's possible.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, realistically, you just got to believe in yourself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If you see somebody pull up in a Lambo, well, how the fuck did he get it?
Yeah.
Well, it's possible. I guess I could get one too, right? It's just the work that you got to get to
Shit,
get.
huevo.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Show me the, you know, what blueprint do I have to follow to get
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
It's all a blueprint. It's
Yeah.
all it there's always, you know, a way. If that person did it, then, you know, that means that it's game time, you know? You could get it too. And people right away, like a lot of us, like especially Hispanics, you know, how we're always trying to bring people down. We're always trying to like smut people up.
Yeah.
See, all that bullshit doesn't help nobody.
No.
So what we're doing here is we're lifting each other up. We're
Yeah.
showing them that, you know what, you got to stop thinking like that, because that right there, like that hater plane that you're fucking playing, is a sin. And that's what's blocking your blessings, because you're shitting on that person. You're projecting a bunch of like nonsense in your head about, you know, how he got his success, or why, you know, it's going so good for him and it's not for you.
And
Like,
it's crazy how people do it so like in the norm, like it's so cool. Like, yeah, hey dog, you don't even know that person.
Yeah.
How can you speak about him?
yeah,
Instead of saying, man, look, he's doing good things, he's doing something to help himself and his family, motherfuckers just want to gossip about other fools nowadays, you know? And it's like, what the hell? We're men, right? Like, if we're helping people, it's like, that's one thing, like, we don't do, you know what I'm saying? Like, nowadays, it's like, hey, I'll help you, dog. I'm not going to give you the money, but I can show you the way to do it, right? You know what I'm saying?
100%. You know, like you said, you know, gossip is so fucking like it's almost like normal right now amongst men, that it's sad. You know, like you got
Like
men
roles
gossip.
reversed.
Yeah, like well, yeah, what the
Reversed.
fuck is that about?
Yeah.
You know, what happened
Yeah.
to like these, you know, men of like integrity, these men of like, hey, you know what, of character and upholding their word. No, now it's like let me just fucking talk about this guy that I don't even know. You know? I just don't like him because I wish I was him.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You know, it's they're projecting their insecurities. You know,
There's
and we gotta change that.
I just want to say I'm grateful to the Tin Man Podcast, to you for helping building the Tin Man Podcast, to Bandit, Estrada, especially Coach G, man, just for being a support system, you know what I'm saying? I think I know it all sometimes, you know, and I feel like this is where the community comes in. And like I've told you before, man, I've told this fool, like, man, well, I wouldn't answer nobody's phone calls. I should go and hide out, but like, that's why personal development and coaching and building a community is so important, man, because you're not by yourself. And these men will show you that you're not by yourself, man, because that's what you got to learn to just extend your hand out. And I'm pretty sure this minute you give them a call or hit them up on IG, they'll speak to you. But you got to be serious about trying to change, man, because these guys put in a lot of work and they're very busy of what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And just don't forget, man, that tomorrow is not here yet, man. Worry about today, man, and just execute that day. Execute that day and be the best you can that day. If you fuck up, tomorrow you start low again, do it again. But be consistent with it. I'm inconsistent, and I'm telling you as a man that I've been consistent for so long, but I fell off for a little bit. But thanks to this man, I'm trying to get back to it again. You know what I mean? Blessings to all. I'm gonna let the brothers finish what they got to say.
Yeah, check it out, man. So at the end of the day, change is a choice. So if you put yourself in a shitty situation, you got to be ready to do whatever it takes to get in there. There's a little saying, if you did the crime, you got to do the time. It's the same thing when we're talking about earlier. If you doing drugs, you're scared about the come down, you know, you chose to drink, you chose to do those drugs, you got to be willing to go through the temporary pain to get through it. So whether you're struggling with addiction, you're struggling with some type of change, you're good. Just stop thinking and start doing it. Just get it.
Look, man, it doesn't matter what the fuck it is that you want to be. You know, you could be this negative person, you could be this positive. What you got to do is pick the one that's going to value you, your family, and everything else around you the most. You write that shit down, you believe in yourself, and you take action. Stop fucking sitting around. Stop fucking relying on some shit to just fall in your lap. Stop waiting for just an opportunity to just happen. The opportunity is there, but only if you create it. You got to get the fuck up and run that shit. Let's go.
Check it out, man. I'm gonna tell you guys one thing and one thing only. There's so much help out there now that if you want to sit in the sidelines and cry about your life, then that's the life that you're gonna keep living, man, because there's so much people out there providing that service to help you to break those limitations. It's just you getting out of your own way, stacking up, investing in yourself, and hit up one of the people that have that lifestyle or that look or that knowledge or that wisdom that they're pushing out there, and join the team, join the community. You guys can't do it alone. We cannot all do it alone. We all here are a proven example of what happens when you invest in yourself. You are your best investment. In order for your life to change, you gotta invest in yourself. That's why I cannot stress this enough. If you wanna play, you gotta pay, straight up. We take this shit serious. This is our passion. This is what we do. This is what we eat, breathe. Personal development, mindset, fitness, nutrition, family, fitness, and finance. Because what? We got to get our paper right, man. Because money is what makes shit happen. Money is what eliminates a lot of problems. Believe it or not, if you think that, money is evil, like most people that don't have money talk about,
Need it.
yeah, no, we
You need it.
fucking need it.
Yeah.
And we're going to show you guys how it's done. Watch, my hitters from where they're at to where they're at now. We're evolving. We're sharing, what we are going to provide for you guys. And also, we're writing our own story. We're writing our journey. This is the new age of learning is through video, through content. If you watch this, if you just sit in the sidelines and pay attention and apply it, you're going to get far. Then you could invest in yourself and move up to the next level. Run it up.
Motherfucking buenos dias.
Buenos motherfucking days.
I want to say thank you to Valerie's Taco Shop off Emerald for sponsoring this podcast today. They got the Michoacana next door. Feel free to go and put some money in that store, man, because the tacos and the ice cream are real good, and we're so grateful for them sponsoring the podcast. And gracias to Valeria's Taco Shop y Michoacana. Ánimo.